No Facebook again. But the Facebook that I used to create all of the material that I've used on my channel. Before I left that, I was contacted by a man um, who actually assisted me in the sexuality video because he actually provided me with a confirmation that the community was being moved by what I said. Um, and he had actually offered me a platform. He had offered me my own blog that he would manage and assist with that would get paid to talk on the issues within Black society. Okay. So I almost took that offer, but I got off the internet and I have not seen or heard from him since. Uh, you know who you are. You're in my thoughts. You are in my thoughts. I hope that you're still alive. I know that you're going through a lot of health issues. Um, Before I got off Facebook, so I hope all is well with you. But I've thought of you often, and I just want to let you know I appreciate you bringing me the confirmation. But this is what this topic I'm about to talk about is the first thing that he wanted me to write about. um, I'm supposed to talk about it. It's being a pregnant Black woman. Story time. Everybody likes to talk about their pregnancies and stuff like that. I'm about to tell you how the healthcare system tried to kill me and my kids. And so it starts like this. Coming in at 9 pounds even, 21 and 1/4 inches, we have Jeremiah. I was 18 years old. I expressed that my biggest fear was having a large baby. Why? Genetics. His dad stood at 6'5", and his mother never ceased to remind me of his 10-pound, 13-ounce birth weight. And I myself was well over 8 pounds as well. So that's going to be a big baby. Please do not let me have a big baby. Not once did they measure my baby. They did not perform an episiotomy. They allowed me to rip. My epidural wore off in less than 12 hours, and I had a natural childbirth with a 9-pound baby. He got stuck. They used a vacuum and pushing on my belly to deliver my son. It was highly traumatic and painful. Hearing his heartbeat drop was traumatic. Blood everywhere. It's traumatic. We lived, though. I should have worn my ring so you can see my feelings about it. I went to a different hospital for the birth of my daughter. Same fear. Not because I knew of her dad history, but of mine. Because again, I was over 8 pounds. Please do not let me have a big baby. My concerns were ignored. Yet again, my baby was not measured. This labor was different because I felt the contractions differently, and it took a really long time for anesthesia. My cousin showed up, and because I needed to focus on breathing and getting through contractions, I asked that my visitors wait until I get the epidural to come into my room. What my cousins say about it is that the hospital told them I wasn't accepting visitors at all, and they shooed them away. They left. The hospital isolated me, but my sister and her friends ended up showing up, and my daughter was born with a myriad of feminine energy around her. She also got stuck. And I often think about the moment as her heartbeat dropped. Traumatic yet again. The doctor on call, because it wasn't the doctor that was caring for me, it was the doctor on call. His large hand reaching inside of me, traumatic. This doctor was a giant. His scrubs were high waters and crop tops. They did not fit. He was like 6'10". He was a very big man, and I guess it's beneficial that his hand was large enough to reach around and help her out, but he was literally about to break her shoulder. And if they would have measured her once, and knowing that I had already experienced shoulder dystocia, they would have known that a C-section would have been best for me and my child. Horribly traumatic. So they took her away because they had to check for trauma. They kept her for over 12 hours, even though she was breathing fine. And they even yelled at me when I called to check on her. They tried to disrupt our bond because she responded to my voice in a very miraculous way. She was 8 pounds, 13.2 ounces, only 2.2 ounces, 2.8 ounces off of 9 pounds, 20 inches, 20 and 3/4 inches. That's Natanya. So that doctor on call for Natanya's delivery ended up being Aaron's doctor. He listened to my concern, and I got a C-section. Because this Aaron was about 2 weeks early. He was 7 pounds, 20 ounces, and 19.5 inches long. I tested positive for marijuana, but Aaron did not. The nurses immediately sabotaged my ability to breastfeed. I was shamed for asking for the medication prescribed with a "think of your baby." This is exactly how her face looked. She was a bitch. I was given less than what would have caused relief and then forced to walk to the bathroom with no assistance. Negligence. Okay, after a C-section, you are not supposed to walk without assistance within your first 48 hours. I was by myself most of the time on this one. My sister was there for Aaron's birth and then came again the day before I was discharged. I was there for an additional day to assess my mental health since I had attempted suicide earlier in the pregnancy, but they were being so cruel to me. They wouldn't help me to shower. They're supposed to send someone to watch the baby, and they didn't do that. They treated me really poorly. I was glad when I finally left. And I elected to be sterilized. I felt some relief about that. However, as the months went on before the C-section, the doctor would always ask and remind me that tubal ligation is not reversible. The most common thing women regret is tubal ligation. You are really young. You are really beautiful. Are you sure? Now, I don't think that this was necessarily in an unprofessional manner, but yeah, I'm sure. I could feel it. I could feel the lack of fertility, right? I'm a fertility goddess.
Mom?
Yeah.
Where did you got this from?
I don't know. I found it. I'm still making my video. I need you to...
Maybe you got it from Dollar General.
Maybe I did. I'm not sure, though. I need you to take...
Maybe you got it from Walmart or something.
I don't know where I got it. I found it, okay? I found it.
Okay.
Note that it's 9 minutes and 55 seconds. I said, you cannot go 10 minutes. I said I'm a fertility goddess, and, one of my abilities, I can actually tell when a woman is pregnant. So, knowing that I'm able to be pregnant was a big deal. I remember my sister warning me that you need to make sure how much is cut. This is that, because it's not really permanent without a certain amount being cut. And she had said this from experience. She actually ended up becoming pregnant after a tubal ligation. So she was just trying to warn me, So the winter that the man of the hour left me, I was pregnant. My sister was fucking right. And the healing factor was the fast that I experienced prior to meeting him. I can't be completely certain because it's not like I was running around having unprotected sex anyway. But what I experienced was chemical pregnancy, no loss of life really. But trust me, having something like that happen has me completely untrusting of the healthcare system. I'm genuinely frightened to have another child because there's no one to protect you from the horrors of the hospital. You know, we're just experiments and people to take stuff out on. They literally could have killed us. Just imagine if I didn't have a miscarriage. I would have been pregnant in my car. I would be toting around a child right now with all of this shit going on, like a newborn. Oh my God. I honestly, I probably wouldn't, the way things were going, I probably wasn't going to make it full term anyway. But just the trauma of, I don't think the healing of my tubal ligation was an accident. I think it was on purpose. I did it because I refused to see myself pregnant and single again, and I refuse. I tried to take accountability for that by getting tubal ligation, but that doctor, he didn't do his job based on his own beliefs, and I did end up pregnant, abandoned, and single again.